The RV Show USA is brought to you by Flagstaff, Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
Not a week goes by when I'm not asked for advice on buying an RV. And while I can't respond in too much detail to everybody, I can give you some of the high points, at least food for thought, if you will. One common denominator among RVers, all RVers, is justification. Whether you're a first-time buyer or you've owned many, at some point, whatever your decision is, you will justify that decision. You'll have convinced yourself that your decision is rational. Hey, it's normal. We all do it. And once we make that decision, we see things that support our decision, things that make us feel good about it. And we're either blind to things that will show that we made a bad decision, or we simply ignore it. How many times have you been, completely and totally convinced that you were making the right decision, only to realize sometime later that, you were oh so wrong? That's the way it can be when you buy an RV. But it starts as soon as you begin the buying process. And even the most disciplined shopper can begin to let go of rational thinking and, be lulled into a state of euphoria. And the dreaming process is oh so great, right? I mean, you have those images, those scenes in your mind of the people you're going to go RVing with, the kind of places you're going to be going. It's like taking one little sip of alcohol at a time, and you begin that journey, that process of buying the RV that is so incredibly nice. I mean, it feels so good, and your mind convinces you that you're making the right decision. And as soon as you start thinking, you know what? Buying that RV does make sense. It does. You begin investing in your decision, and that can be a monumentally huge mistake. And for too many people, it becomes a life-changing mistake, a purchase that is bad and really, really can be bad. When we let our emotions and dreams go unchecked, we lose control, and it rarely ends up well, and for a lot of reasons. When the after the purchase hangover begins and you realize that you've anchored yourself, sometimes to I'm talking about financially anchoring, to maybe a 15 or even a 20-year note, it is too late to do anything about it, and you're stuck. Yeah, you may love your RV, and it may be a great RV and all that, but do you love your RV more than you hate the thought of having to pay for it for the next 15 or 20 years, being strapped to it, having to make those payments? My point, and I try to do this quite often on the show, is that buying an RV, owning an RV is a big deal, really big deal. It's a long-term financial commitment, at least it is for most of us. And every single person who buys an RV has justified their decision at one point or another. I want to encourage you to do several things before you buy an RV. First, assume that you are going to be taken advantage of. Yeah, taken advantage of. You need to be, don't be a jerk, but be a little bit paranoid. Be cautious. Do your homework. I know there are some in the RV industry that are cringing at me, even suggesting that there are nefarious people in the RV business, but I assure you there are. So be cautious. Question everybody. Question me. In terms of doing your homework, in addition to being a little bit paranoid, figure out your budget, a realistic budget. There are countless YouTubers out there who will tell you to the penny how much it costs for the first 6 months or 12 months, how much it costs them. Those videos can really be a great resource, but whatever you figure out for you, I suggest budget-wise you add at least 25% to it, at least. Chances are you are gonna need it. Unless you're 100% certain that buying new is your best choice, I strongly suggest that you look at buying used. There are a ton, and I mean a ton, of good used RVs in the market right now, and I see even more coming in the months and the year ahead. Once you got your budget down, you have your, direction on what is best for you. You get your finances in order. Don't wait until you get to the dealer and believe the dealer's going to give you the best loan terms possible. I can almost guarantee you that you will be better off going someplace else. And do not buy the payments. Don't do it. Too many slick-talking finance people are going to try and convince you that, hey, it's only another $30 a month. It's just $1 a day. Isn't your happiness worth $1 a day? Believe me, there are a lot of dealers who will try and do this. In terms of financing, I suggest you always put down a minimum of 15, 20% if you can, minimum, and finance no longer than 7 years. If you do this, you will not get burned when it's time to sell. And of course, the other essentials to not getting burned: buy from a dealer with excellent online reviews. Go buy that dealer way before you decide to buy. hang out in their service area on a Friday, when other people are picking up their RVs at a service. Ask some of the folks there if they are happy. Almost nobody does this, and for the life of me, I don't understand why. Of course, buying a brand of RV that has got a great reputation for quality cannot be overemphasized. As I said, these are just some of the high points to think about, starting with being skeptical, a little bit paranoid, and being cautious. Hey, I'd like to know what you think. If you would, post your comments below. We'll be talking about some of them soon in our live stream. You can even leave us a voicemail 24/7. I wish you would. Let us know how you think we're doing. The number is 1-330-WINGMAN, 1-330-WINGMAN. Don't want to spell it out, 1-330-946-4626.